you doing? It's Cindy Love Metal. I'm sitting here at Club Red, and 13th Floor Productions brings us Otep. I'm telling you what, I'm just honored to be sitting here with you, and I thank you so much, first of all, for taking a few minutes to talk to us out there. And I'm just going to kind of make it a little bit easy and assume that there's a lot of lazy metalheads out there watching. So some of the questions I have, or might be some of the easy ones or dumb ones too. So we'll go with that. But I met your guy that your trainer dude, and
he's my guitar player.
Yeah?
He's my tour manager. He's also like our guru. So his name's Aristotle. And he's just one of the most, he's one of my best friends and one of the most amazing and talented people I've ever known.
That's
really
cool.
Amazing, yeah.
You know, I never really thought about it before, but you probably have to follow like an athlete's regimen almost
Absolutely.
to do what you do out there on the stage so badass.
Because our sets are really intense and physical, so it's not like we can party and all that kind of things. I mean, we're out here to do one thing, and that's like to create and proliferate art and to inspire people to be, to break free from the cultural costumes and the social identities that are placed upon them and to just really be themselves.
Exactly.
And that's
you totally have a message.
Thank you.
Thank you, actually. Thank you for being that person out there and somebody that, people who don't, fit in that box can look at and look to for guidance, if you will.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And I don't know if you don't want to talk about it, that's fine, but a lot of controversy last March with fucking rot, if you don't mind my saying that. And, why are they trying to lie when there's witnesses there to see?
I don't know. It's hard for me to continue to talk about it because I don't really want to give that guy a lot of attention because I don't think he deserves it.
Then?
But,
we don't have to.
Well, the idea is this. What I will talk about is what happens when women, primarily women, speak out about being victimized.
Yeah.
They're further victimized
Right.
after they speak out, which causes them to not want to speak out. So when this happened to me, I was compelled to speak out. Now there was a lot of legal wrangling going on behind the scenes. A lot of people who watch Law and Order and CSI think that everything happens
Right.
day of. It doesn't. You've got a lot of different complexities and layers to wade through in order to get certain legal things to happen. But what was surprising to me is how many people just completely immediately dismissed it, that it was a lie. And I have no reason to lie. I have my integrity.
No.
I have no reason to. It doesn't make me look like a strong person by allowing someone to violate me in such a way. So
Right.
why would I put myself in a position that makes me look weaker than what I hope I'm not and what people see me as? So I just hope that by me speaking out, it inspires and encourages other people to speak out and know that yes, you're gonna endure people who think that you're lying and that maybe you deserved it because of the way you were dressed or you drank too much or what's the big deal? It's a woman. There's a lot of people that like to put women in their place, especially strong women.
Right.
Especially strong women with a voice and who are a mouthpiece. And I think that there are some people. And I'm not talking about all men. I'm not talking about all specific type of person. But there's, I'm speaking specifically of a specific type of person that feels like they have to be superior.
Right.
And so this is one way of doing it. And if they can't beat us on stage, then they have to find some other way to do it.
That's a good point for me to I hate to interrupt you, but going further on what you're saying, you have a lot of messages out there, and a lot of ways you put it out there. Now, for those out there who don't know, and our surface watchers or listeners, and you've done some voiceover work.
Yeah.
You've written a book.
Yeah.
And what did you do for voiceover? Was it a cartoon or what was it?
Oh no, I did. I was 6 different creatures in the last Hobbit movie.
That's cool.
My name's on the screen. You can see it.
That's cool.
I was an ogre. I was a mountain troll. I was a berserker. I was a bat. I was a goblin, and a wraith.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I love. You know what?
It was so much fun, and it was really honored to be a part of something like that. That's I'm a huge fan of the author Tolkien. I'm a huge fan of the Lord of the Rings trilogies, the Hobbit trilogy, and just to be a part of something like that, and to be chosen out of there was probably 20,000 people who auditioned, and I was one of the 5 that
That's amazing.
got it. Yeah. So
Did you have anything on the commentary? Did they talk with you a bit?
No, they didn't, and that's fine. But what was great is that they actually included the voiceover actors on screen. I mean,
Right.
they normally don't do that. Mostly, I mean, even dog trainers get screen credits, but voiceover actors rarely do. So, I mean, I also did voiceovers in the PlayStation 3 game, The Last of Us.
Oh, that's cool.
I was a lot of the zombies and in that, and I've done some other films, but I've had to like sign confidentiality agreements, so I can't really talk about them. But
Okay.
I've also done a children's charity where a lot of people were donating money to help underprivileged kids and kids who can't afford hospital bills, and
Oh,
so
wow.
I was the voice of that.
That's cool.
Yeah, and it's funny because when I was a child, I had this tone of voice, this very dim, like little kid with this like big giant voice. I was like the big bad wolf in all the school plays and everything. And I was made fun of quite a bit, and not for long. Usually, they got lumped up after that. But for the most part, they would make fun of my voice, and now it's like, well, this is what's guiding my path. And,
Right.
and I think that's also a message that I want people to know is like the one thing that maybe you're going to get made fun of might be the thing that leads you to your dreams and goals and change your entire life, because this changed my life.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So what about your book?
I've written, I just wrote a book of short stories, my first book of short stories. There's 3 short stories. It's called Movies in My Head. First story is called Pine Box Jake. The second story is The Girl Who Wasn't There. And the last story is called Made Man. And they're all different stories in different eras and really have different narratives, but they're all sewn together with this one theme, which is kind of hidden in the subtext, which I'm really proud of it.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I'm real proud of that. I also did an audiobook of the first story, Pine Box Jake, and that's going to be released pretty soon as well. So
Very cool. And people, where can they get the info to pick up on this stuff?
you can find it. They can find the books on our Facebook page.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's Otep Official.
Very cool. So those people, big fans, of course, have probably read up on you and already know that your name, of course, is derived from your mother's interest in Egyptian history.
That's
but
right.
did you take an interest in that as well?
I did. I
From
mean,
that?
it was great. I mean, it was great growing up when I would have to write a paper or something because I knew, like a history paper. I knew
Built in.
I knew the 18th dynasty of ancient Egypt like the back of my hand. But her interest in history inspired me to be interested as well. So it's sort of a kind of a thing that we share and we
Right.
really enjoy ancient history, even American history. And I think it's important that people know where we've come from, even from other civilizations, because the human species makes the same mistakes no matter if it was 5,000 years ago or last year. We still make the same stupid mistakes, and that's that whole idea, like history repeats itself. Of course it does, because most of the people don't pay enough attention, because history's kind of boring to a lot of people.
Yeah.
They don't make it fun. My mom always made it really fun for us to learn about history, and I think I remember like she would put on a little mustache and like play Jeopardy with us and like made it fun for us, because it was kind of like we want to be outside to play, we don't want to sit here and listen to this. But
She sounds like one of those moms that every other kid wish they would have had a
She
mom
is-
like that,
she's
and
a
probably
great
were over
mother.
your house.
She's a great mother. She is fantastic. She's my rock.
Oh, that's cool. I like to
100%.
hear that too. I like to hear that. So, if we were gonna play like that video, what's your favorite song that you perform, and which like means the most to you? Because those might be 2 different songs.
There are. I mean, there's songs that have never seen the light of day, really, except for on the album. Like Perfectly Flawed is one of my favorite songs I've ever written. I wrote that with Holly Knight, and she wrote Love is a Battlefield for Pat Benatar.
right. Okay.
And it's a piano ballad, and it's really beautiful, but when it was presented to the label, they said, well, that's not an Otep song. And I said, but it is, because I wrote it. And they said, yeah, but you didn't scream in it. So, I know I'm the girl that goes grr, but at the same time, it's really the message that matters the most
Right.
to me. And there's songs like You're a Woman Now, and We Dream Like Lions. All those songs are very beautiful and have so
Yeah.
much meaning to them. Favorite song live to play? God, there's so many. I mean, they're all different in different ways. I mean, I think the one that I enjoy the most, I enjoy them all, but the one that I enjoy the most is because I have so much crowd interaction is My Confession.
Okay.
Because we stop the song right before the bridge, and then I get everybody to jump. Like the entire floor is just
I'll
jumping.
bet.
Or like when we played Not Fest last year, we had like 25,000 people in this. All these people, just this sea of people jumping. So that's one of my favorite songs. Plus, there's so many dynamics to it.
Yeah.
It gets really soft and delicate and intimate, and then it erupts into this volcanic explosion of emotion.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that changeable
Yeah.
song. Do you
Yeah.
practice your stuff in the shower?
No, not really.
No?
No. I don't do that. I might sing like an Otis Redding song or something.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you who's your secret. I mean, who would you listen to that's just totally not like
I
what you
listen
do?
to a lot of like old R&B and blues. I don't know why. Lately, I've just been listening to that, and a lot of like Nirvana, live Nirvana, especially after the documentary that just came out.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to go to the premiere of that. I sat in the same row as Courtney Love. She sat one seat next to me. Frances Bean sat in front of us, and just to be in the presence of that was just really remarkable, and see, that particular documentary, to see how much emotion and passion that Kurt Cobain had for music and for live performance, and then to see him struggling with his demons. It was such a sobering, and yet it was inspiring, and yet very sad, so I mean, Nirvana's sort of a staple for me. I always listen to them. I mean, their music's timeless. But song, I don't know. I like a lot of, I don't know. I like Otis Redding. I like the old oldies, those old like stovepipe voices.
Yes, I do too.
Yeah.
I do too. Because I have, as you can see, because I'm talking to you, I have a deeper voice myself. So, like, how about so videos? That's what we do here on Heavy Metal Television. So, what about videos that we play? I have like one of my favorite videos of yours. I like Ghost Flowers.
Ghost Flowers.
Really like that video.
Love that.
There's a lot of changing going on in that song
Ghost
too.
Flowers is a lot of fun to play live as well. That's another one that I really love because it starts off so soft and pretty, and then just once it hits going, man, it's running.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop.
Nope.
It's just so good.
Does not let its grip go. Yeah, I love that song.
And the video itself was so much fun. We shot that with this amazing director. His name's P.R. Brown, and he's worked with everybody from Manson to his motto used to be Hanson to Manson.
That's cool.
Yeah, but he's also, he's graduated on to even bigger stuff. I think he did stuff for President Obama and everything. But he's just got such a great vision, and he really understood the song.
Yeah.
And so that's one of my favorite videos that we've ever done. Yeah. That and Apex Predator. I love playing that one live as well. That was great. And that video is really remarkable too.
Yeah, it's got a lot of feedback. A lot of people like that too.
Yeah, and it was actually the first single that we've ever had that people reacted to immediately. Usually it takes them a little time to grow on it, but first time we played it out, the whole place erupted.
Yeah.
We shot that at an abandoned haunted hospital in Boyle Heights in Los Angeles, California. If anybody knows Boyle Heights, it's already scary enough, but then
that's way cool.
The haunted hospital was pretty amazing. Yeah.
So what's on the menu next? I mean, after the tour, what do you got going on?
Well,
you do so many things, you never know.
Well, we've been finally feeling the spirit of music returning to me, and so I think with Aristotle and I we've been writing, and we're gonna continue to write, and maybe think about putting out a new record. So
yeah.
And that's kind of on our like it's been on our minds a lot, and it's been kind of we've been obsessed with that and possessed by it. Just writing something that is that flows freely from us and is really a true reflection of where we are and who we've always been. Our roots are still deeply planted in the soil of what we sprang from, but then where we are now as artists as well, and he and I just have such a great connection artistically, and it's really I think if all goes well, we're going to have like maybe one of the best records we've ever done.
I believe that. I believe that because from everything that you say and for what we all see of you on stage, and it's really cool to be able to sit here and get a little bit personal with you. And
Thank you.
So what would be the one thing that you want them to know out there? I mean, I've been asking you all the questions. I'm putting you on the spot. What'd you have for breakfast?
I had an English muffin.
An English muffin? Nice. I
muffin.
love English muffins. I butter the crap out of them, which I probably shouldn't do.
You shouldn't do that.
And raspberry jelly. And I made my own jam the other day.
Yeah.
I made my own strawberry jam. I put fresh ground black pepper in it.
That sounds pretty good. Yeah.
It was good.
Well, I'm a vegetarian, almost vegan. When I'm home, I'm mainly vegan, and I do that primarily for animal rights.
That's cool.
I didn't I used to love eating meat. There was no, bacon was like my favorite food ever.
Right. I have a hard time giving
But
that up.
it's difficult. But you know, at the same time, I've seen how these animals are raised,
Right.
and I've seen how they're treated. And I'm not going to make some asshole richer by being cruel to something that's so innocent and pure and beautiful and is a sentient being. It understands pain,
Right,
it
right.
understands fear, it understands joy and happiness, it cares for its children. So I'm not going to give $1 to make that person richer for that, to make, you know, for them to exploit and become wealthy based on cruelty.
I have so much respect for that.
I'd rather, you know, sacrifice something that I like so that, you know, maybe I can inspire other people to do the same thing, and we can put these people out of business, because you don't, it's, food is what keeps us alive and all that, so why don't we treat the animals like what they are, which is,
Right.
you know, messiahs. They save
are.
us, they feed us, but yet, you know, the one thing I'll say is that if you're going to give up anything, I would say give up chicken, because chickens aren't regulated the same way as regular livestock.
I understand
So
what you mean, the treatment of them, correct?
It's just ridiculous. They're in these little tiny cages. They can't stand up, and then the ones on the top, you know, the ones on the bottom get whatever
Right.
goes on from the ones on the top. And this is what we put in our bodies. This is what we put in our you know, this is what we eat. And
Right.
why do we think that we, just because we're humans, we deserve to be able to, you know, manipulate and destroy innocent creatures like that? And I don't think it's. I don't think that it's right, and I'm not gonna give my money to anybody that does it.
Props to you for being one of the very few people who actually takes their life and stands up for their convictions and lives by it. Because a lot
I
of
do
people
have
don't
principles.
Do that. Yep, you
Gets
do.
me in trouble sometimes, but you know,
Right on.
I'd
Well,
rather be a person of principles than one that not.
I appreciate that, and I know that you probably got to get back and do your thing. Thank you so much once again for
Thank
sitting
you
here
very
and talking with us. It's OTEP happening right here. It's at Club Red. It's 13th Floor Productions, and I am Cindy Love Metal. You can catch me, of course, Monday through Friday from 5 to 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And you know what? I cannot wait to see this interview, you know, in front of me, because right now I'm doing it, and I just can't wait to see it. OTEP, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.